In August 25, our time capsule video will post automatically on YouTube, reminding us of the goals that we set ourselves in August 24. In January, we have big plans to take it up a notch to make sure that we hit those goals in time. But for now, we're taking a breath, looking after our mental health and enjoying our favourite time of year. With it being the end of the year and the start of a new year, obviously one of the things that everybody does is look back over the year.
Yes.
And one of the things that we wanted to do was look back on the shows that we've done this year, because so I ran a dance company for a long time, and this year was the first sort of full year without me doing that and actually me going freelance. So I work freelance in theatre and doing choreography, in wardrobe, doing a little bit of like graphic design and programs and things like that. I also teach like first dance wedding couples and things, so I'm freelancing that way.
And then I'm also freelance in theatre, so I MD or musically direct. I also work in the band pit bands, orchestras and all of that for the shows as well. I teach singing lessons and guitar lessons and piano lessons. So it's our first year, I think, together, they're properly kind of freelancing, both of us, isn't it?
And you do a lot of gigs as well.
Yes, I do, a lot of gigs.
Like care homes and things like that.
Yeah.
So this year we kind of thought, well, we'll just go with the flow and see what happens. And that's what we did. But it meant that we ended up getting involved with quite a lot of shows.
Yes.
So the year started, I was working for Little Wolf last Panto season, who are quite literally one of the best companies in the world to work for. So I was working in wardrobe for their Panto season. So for a little while with Peter Pan in Loughborough, and then I moved across Derby Arena to do Mother Goose. So the year, technically we ended on New Year's Eve, but the year started with a get out at Derby Arena of Mother Goose for me, and a sort of wind down of Mother Goose. So started in full blown.
It was the funniest I ever knew you.
What?
I think it was the funniest I ever knew you.
What do you mean?
Well, you were hanging around all the panto lots, so you kind of were just naturally getting funnier and funnier and funnier and funnier, weren't you?
I'm funny.
Just cut this bit out.
I'm funny.
You are funny. But you got funnier.
They are funny.
First thing I did this year was the Pirates of Mutiny Bay Hunt for the Crown of Tahulu. I went and worked at Alton Towers during their pirate takeover. So they put on a show during this pirate takeover, which lasted for a couple of weeks. And so I was a principal performer in that. And then I also worked at Alton Towers as a character actor as well, kind of guiding guests around on a treasure hunt and helping them along with the cute clues and things, dressed as a pirate, obviously. Well, it's a pirate takeover.
Then the first thing we did together was Snoring Beauty, and that was the first thing that we'd done together on production team.
Ever?
Yeah.
It's the only thing we've ever done on production team together, isn't it?
So you were musical director and I was choreographer, and that was with Erewash Youth Theatre.
Yep.
And I helped with some of the costumes as well, which was very
Yes,
cool.
you did.
Doing the dame's makeup, and you led the band.
Yes, so I led the band, I MD'd it, and led the singers as well. So playing, leading the band, leading the singers.
That opened on my birthday, didn't it?
Yes, it did. So I made sure everyone sang a happy birthday.
That was great.
Yeah.
We did Bad Girls. I did the programme for Bad Girls. This was with Erewash Musical Society, and we both helped out backstage crewing for Bad Girls.
Yes.
Because quite a few of our friends were in Bad Girls. So that's just basically a fun week, isn't it?
I know, it's just really fun, that was.
Like, Mark's the stage manager, Erewash are a really nice group, so it's just a lot of fun hanging out backstage, basically.
Absolutely, yeah.
And moving things around.
Yeah. That was also the first time I ever helped people with their auditions as well. A low, low. We were both in a lower low, so Abby was an airman and I was hair flick.
So I did the choreography as well, but there wasn't much choreography.
And I MD'd it as well, but again there wasn't much MDing.
But it was basically hiding out as a hairman,
as a hairman.
as an airman, with Encore.
Yep, and I was being a Gestapo officer. Heflik of the Gestapo. Which, I mean, that was just fun. The show was fun. The group was very funny.
Yeah, and we were doing it with Hayley as well, which was always fun.
And then Adam guessed Nicest Man Alive.
Yeah. So we did the first week in Long Eaton, which was really, really cool. And then we moved across to Melbourne for the second week.
We went on tour. No, we didn't.
Well, we moved to Melbourne for the second week. So it was really nice to do a show at the Duchess and then move across to Melbourne Assembly Rooms to do the same show again. That was all a bit manic because at the same time as LOLO was going on, we were also doing other shows. So we were also doing Joseph. So we were doing Joseph in Burton. So I was the choreographer for Joseph.
And I was in it.
Gabs was one of the brothers.
Gab.
Gad.
Gabs was Gad. I actually asked the director why he had cast me, and he did actually say, "Oh, I made you Gad because your name is Gabs."
Easy to remember.
Very easy to remember. Just
Joseph is Joseph, isn't it? Everyone knows Joseph. Everyone that does anything about musicals knows Joseph.
Yeah.
And tries to remember the order of the colours.
It was red,
I'm
yellow,
not gonna do it.
and green, and brown, and scarlet, and black, and ochre, and peach, and ruby, and olive, and violet, and fawn, lilac, and gold, and chocolate, and mauve, and green, and crimson, and silver, and gold, and azure, and azure, and mustard, and green.
Actually, you started naming reindeer. So then after Joseph, like straight after Joseph, we had like a few weeks where it was literally just like hello, 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 Joseph. And then I went into Stepping Out.
Yes.
Which was like quite a big deal for me because I was playing Mavis Turner in Stepping Out, which was a really big part.
It was your first time
the first time, that I'd gone and done a part in like years and years and years. And they asked me if I wanted to do it, and it was like, yeah, okay.
I mean, it was very fun. She kind of came home and went, "So I'm in a show. Great. What are you doing?" "Well, I'm Mavis Turner and Stepping Out." Oh,
it's quite a lot.
It's quite a lot for your first time back in after 20 years.
That was with Captive Audience, and that was in Belper. So that was a really nice group, really nice group to work with. And also you did the music, didn't you?
Yes, I did do the music for that.
Because there is, if you know Stepping Out, there is a pianist in it, but she couldn't play piano, so Gabs played all the piano and recorded it all and sorted all that out.
My first pit gig did this year was Annie Get Your Gun. So that was again with the EMES youth group, and that was under the musical direction of George Parkinson. And so I came in and I played second keys, which basically played all the string parts on that bit, which was very fun.
And I just helped backstage
and
crewed it. I was just moving scenery with Megan backstage, moving a train on and off very quickly.
The train? Oh yeah.
It was like the train, wasn't
I
it?
forgot there was the train because that was the lullaby song.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah, exactly that.
Another show that I MD'd was a concert with a group called the Kaleidoscope Players. That was their 35th anniversary concert, and they'd called it Take a Bow, and so it was about 40 songs from musicals that they had done, and just big musical numbers, which was really, really fun to MD. I had a very small band on that one, which meant I had to be very creative with my
very small band, huge amount of songs.
Yes, I had 4 people in my band. Yeah, so it was me, Martin Lewis, Andy Shelton, and Ada Galen.
And Martin Lewis is Life with Martin.
Yes, Life with Martin.
So go and watch his vlog.
Go and watch his vlog.
Like,
it's going to be linked in the.
There's a whole vlog on that he did.
Yes, and I'll also link that video as well. I was in the pit for Calamity Jane with Leo, so that's Long Eaton Operatic Society, and that was done at Trent College. It was a bit different because we were out in the front, so the audience could actually see us instead of being tucked into a band room.
It's a bit of a country theme this year.
Yeah, very country theme this year.
Calamity Jane and Get Your Gun.
Feel free to get that one in, because I think that reaction wouldn't have been priceless.
It's like really high pitched and like seemed to go around the room. We did Hot Mikado with Aerowash. We both crewed that one, so we were both backstage for that one. And I did the poster design and the programme for that one as well. And again, that is just an Erebor show that is good fun.
Yeah.
So
You know, in our show, you're going to have a good fun
Yeah.
show week.
Erebor have a really fun mentality towards show week because it's just like, let's just go for
Have
it
fun.
and enjoy it. So
If stuff happens, you know.
yeah, they have a really kind of
Which is the right attitude.
yeah, they have a really fun attitude towards show week. Not in a kind of like don't take themselves seriously, because they do, but it's just I think it's
They
one-
take themselves seriously without letting it ruin their show week.
yeah.
Derby Youth Musical Theatre Group, DYMT, they were doing Phantom of the Opera, which obviously is a massive, massive show, and they did it at Derby Theatre, which made it even more massive. So we had the opportunity to crew that, so getting the Phantom scene changes right and everything. It was all absolutely phenomenal, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was amazing. I think that like sometimes people forget how big amateur shows can be.
Absolutely,
Um,
especially youth amateur shows. They go, oh, it's a youth thing, it must be like a school production.
Well, I think if we're honest, when Chris,
We-
who is the technical director, asked us to help on the tech side, and it was a youth production of Phantom of the Opera, we were a little bit like,
Okay.
We knew that Christine,
We knew who
because we'd worked with
Christine.
her, and we knew that she was really, really good. But like, just in like the scale of what Phantom of the Opera is, and like Derby Theatre is quite a big stage compared to somewhere like Duchess or Brewhouse or like Trent, like some of the smaller stages that
Absolutely.
we work on. So like, it was definitely one that we were like, let's see how this works out. And actually, hats off to them, it was amazing.
I mean, you were allowed to drop the chandelier,
I
didn't
got
you?
dropped chandelier. I did Blackadder, which
Yes,
was
you did,
Blackadder,
didn't
A Christmas Carol. So it was the Christmas special of Blackadder. This is captive audience again. I think I probably got talked back into going on stage as Queen Victoria.
Yes, you did, didn't you?
Yes. And
You got to make your own costume.
I was like, I mean, I make costumes. I wanted to make a Queen Victoria costume. I loved it. I helped out with all the music
Yep.
because there was a choir, so they sort of sang the Blackadder theme song in all ridiculous ways. So
A few different ways. So yeah,
you were helping with that as well, weren't you?
absolutely, yeah. It's our final show of the year.
Yeah. So then full circle, right back around to Panto again.
But different Panto this
Different
time,
Panto.
a different group. So this was back at the Duchess
With Amici.
with Amici doing Cinderella. So I MD'd Cinderella. Minimally, I kind of came in, did a little bit of work, did the backing tracks, well, a few of them, and then kind of just helped around show week.
And I was, they had my Cinderella dress, so I was helping with quick changes and costumes and things like that. So our close friend Hayley directed that, and
So
Hayley and Martin.
Directorial debut, but yes, Martin Mould also directed it.
But then also like one of my friends who I met through doing theatre like 20 years ago.
30.
No, not 30.
25.
20.
Oh my.
Actually about 18.
Oh my.
And she hasn't done anything for ages, so she was back. She just wanted a tiny little role, and she was back doing that, and so it was so much fun doing theatre with her again, because that was just fantastic.
Yes, I mean, I don't think you stopped laughing backstage,
No,
did you?
she's a riot.
Yeah.
But we also did other like little
Yes, we
tiny
did
bits and
do
pieces
other
through
little
the year.
bits and
So I made a set of waistcoats for 9 to 5 for a show up in Manchester, and had some of our costumes out for hire for a show down for a Panto season down in Wolverhampton.
Yeah,
And
I helped out on some audition panels here and there, so
you've
I
had
did a
loads
couple.
of gigs.
Loads of gigs.
And
My
we've had the
December,
ice
I've been
hockey.
non-stop. Yes, you had the ice hockey,
ice
and the
hockey.
cricket.
And the cricket, yeah. So it's been
It's been a non-stop
a
year
pretty busy year.
of lots of gigs and shows and things like that.
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening,